This video will cover hard mode ToB with a broad stroke approach. It focuses on main ideas and brushes past small details. Short, simple, and to the point. Before we start, don't forget that you're on a timer. Avoiding deaths is the best way to achieve times. Let's start with inventories. These offer a good balance of supplies and gear. Learners sometimes ditch non-essential gear for extra supplies, but from experience, learners don't die from a lack of supplies. It's usually from an intense moment. The main differences between normal and hard mode Maiden are blood spawns are invulnerable and leave behind permanent blood trails. Every crab will spawn regardless of scale. Crabs that reach Maiden increase her damage and attack speed, and players that tank 3 hits in a row will receive double damage on that 3rd hit. Defense reduction is even more important in hard mode ToB. Melee DPS and range DPS should maul, followed by mages using the BGS until close to or 0 defense. If someone brings a Nylos, communicate this to save specs. In my opinion, mages have the most important job here. Catching all your freezes is vital. It's better to switch gear early than late. As you freeze, move towards Maiden, causing aggro to rotate. Make sure you are fully killing the clump. Freezing blood spawns before they get out of control is also essential. Both melee DPS and range DPS need to do their best dodging blood. Completely kill all solo crabs to prevent Maiden from getting stronger. Finally, skipping 30s is standard in hard mode ToB. Each player should repot if their stats are drained and use remaining special attacks. To summarize success at Maiden, consistently catch freezes, minimize stepping in blood trails, and skip 30s on a regular basis. For Bloat, the main differences are he will change directions more often, and body parts will fall throughout the fight. Pre-eat an angler for Bloat. When it comes to Bloat, follow the saying, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Someone should BGS Bloat the first and second time he goes down. I'd recommend running after 4 to 5 scythe hits or 5 to 6 whip hits to avoid tanking the stomp. It's important to prioritize your life over efficiency. Dying can be the difference between going into Verzik with an inventory full of supplies or not. If your HP is low, brew. It's very likely you'll get flied, and having that cushion of HP is huge. A 3 down is more than acceptable. I'd rather see a deathless 3 down than a 2 down with multiple deaths. Success at Bloat can be summarized by brewing if HP is low, aiming to rarely get hit by feet, and prioritizing your life over efficiency. Following Bloat, purchase a stamina potion and pre-eat an angler. This isn't necessary, but I highly recommend it for an HP cushion during Nylos. The main differences here are attacking Nylos with the wrong combat style reflects damage, 3 demi-bosses will spawn throughout the waves, and the Nylo King has added mechanics. Range DPS will usually pot share a range potion before the waves start. Most of hard mode ToB Nylos comes down to your experience from regular ToB. A poor understanding will show. Make sure you are hitting most of your doubles and have a good idea of which spawns are aggros. Focus Nylos on low HP pillars as the waves progress. It's not uncommon for beginner teams to lose a pillar or 2. This means you need to brew if HP gets low. Demi bosses will spawn on wave 10, 20, and 30. For the first demi, each player except the ranger should scythe Chally. It's very important you get these 2 hits in. The ranger needs to prioritize getting their double spawns using chins. If the demi boss survives, finish it off during a range phase or different melee phase. It's not worth it to use mage. For the second demi, each player, including the ranger this time, will once again scythe into a special attack. Each roll will have a double spawn shortly after, so do your best to transition quickly. The third demi is handled a little bit differently. Ignore killing it, instead focusing on killing Nylos. Do your best switching prayers to avoid large amounts of damage. As the waves finish up, kill the demi, brew if HP is low, and call your spot. In a 4-man team, a player should go west, north, east, and have the ranger anchor. 2 players should BGS here, otherwise scythe Chally. When the Nylo King is using melee, it doesn't matter where you stand. When using range, you need to have a 2 tile gap between each player. When mage, you need to all be on 1 tile. This prevents the Nylo's attacks from chaining to multiple players. I cannot stress how important getting your prayer up in time is. You'll get hit for 80s if not. Try to keep things simple when learning. I'd recommend doing few gear switches, and camping piety is not a half bad idea. Success at Nylos can be summarized by hitting doubles and killing aggros quickly, consistently getting your 2 hits in on demis, and prioritizing prayer and movement over DPS on the Nylo King. When running to Sotetseg, call a quadrant and your spec. This will be your quote-unquote spot for the rest of the raid. The main differences between normal and hard mode Sotetseg are multiple maze runners and 2 death balls instead of 1. Sot is roughly the same as regular ToB. A good understanding of movement within the maze is required before HMT. The first set of death balls are shared amongst the team. If neither are targeted at you, stand in the middle where you would in regular ToB. If you do get chosen, you'll be standing west or east of the DD tile. If the balls are split, one going to a west position and one going to an east position, stand on your respective side. If the balls are sent to players on the same side, the southern player goes far. After this first set, remaining death balls should be tick 8. Brew once Sotetseg's head moves. This works 100% of the time. Each player will run a portion of the maze in HMT. Just like regular ToB, wait on the 3rd row for your team. You are always able to run 1 tile north of your maze, giving more space from the tornado. Try to keep moving and transition between players quickly. Success at Sot can be summarized by quick maze running, consistent tick eating, and understanding the timing of Sot's attacks. At this chest, drop your partial super combat. Double check you have a stamina and aim for 2 restores plus your sand few, 4 to 5 brews, and at least 1 shark, preferably 2. Xarpus is easier in HMT. Enter through the middle gate to avoid getting poisoned. The main differences between normal and hard mode Xarpus are defense is lowered from 250 to 200, poison covers the outer rim, forcing the use of melee, and post Screech, Xarpus looks at where he was hit last. During the exhume phase, hover around your quadrant, which was determined by Sotetseg. For special attacks, Elder Maul into BGS if you brought one. Use melee throughout the fight, ensuring you leave at least 1 tile clear of poison. Once Xarpus screeches, stop attacking. Wait until he is not looking at you and attack immediately. Don't switch weapons during this or you'll possibly kill a teammate. Success at Xarpus is pretty simple. Defense should be 0 and you should have consistent melee technique. Melee DPS typically grabs the staff before entering Verzik, but it doesn't really matter. Verzik is the gatekeeper to KC for most teams. Once again, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. The worst possible outcome here is dying. Drop 1 or 2 brews and a restore in your quadrant designated at Sot. Melee DPS can drop extra if they are hoarding supplies. Phase 1 is almost identical to regular ToB. Verzik will drop rubble on the pillars she attacks. Simply run between the front 2 pillars and follow 416 spec order. Phase 2 on the other hand could be quite tricky. Throughout Phase 2, camp 80 plus HP, always pray range, and don't rely on Blood Fury heals. A poor understanding of the Scythe Walk will ruin you here. Verzik's range bombs now leave poison on tiles for 15 ticks. To avoid this, rotate between 5 tiles. Can do 4, but 5 is foolproof. Use a sand few sip if you get poisoned. When crabs spawn, stop attacking Verzik. Do a one-way switch to your staff and attack the crab when it's blue or about to turn blue. This will always be a one-shot so long as you're not brewed down. Crabs hit harder in HMT. Don't mess around. Reds are once again very similar to regular ToB. If you stand near them when they pop, they will damage you. Try to enter Phase 3 with 99 HP and pick up your supplies if you used a lot for P2. If you choose to leave them, grab them when low on supplies, not when you're completely out. Verzik will have a chance to swap tanks every special attack. As tank, your number 1 priority is to avoid melees. It's more important than damage output. Do your best to attack potted throughout Phase 3 and don't forget her special attacks will always go in order. Finally, she will heal a large portion after quote-unquote killing her for the first time. Similar to Phase 2, when crabs spawn, use your staff to kill them. Let the tank focus on tanking. After crabs, prepare for the first round of webs. Do this as normal and use a stamina sip here. This next part is optional and recommended for learner teams. Because yellows can be tricky, wait to proc Verzik's enraged phase, off around 25%. Now is a good time to heal up a bit since the green ball is coming out. You generally want to camp around 50 HP during enraged in case you get hit from a tornado since it heals Verzik for a large amount. In case you don't wait for yellows, let's talk about it now. 3 pools will spawn for each player. You are assigned the quadrant that you had for Sot and Xarpus. If you don't see your yellows, yours will be in the middle. In scenarios where there are deaths, I highly advise you just ping a section. In hard mode, the green ball must be passed at least once, otherwise it will one-shot you. Subsequent passes will reduce the damage. 2 things to know here. Make sure you don't get hit by the tornado. This stacked with the green ball is basically guaranteed death. Secondly, now is a great time to use your sharks and combo eats for both before and after tanking the green ball. 2 things I want to point out in this clip. I am already picking up a brew before I run out, and I'm eating in preparation for the green ball since I have no combo eats. Sure, I miss attacks, but it follows the idea of slow and smooth wins the race. After the green ball, we restart the cycle, starting back at crabs. Between now and webs is the most important part of Verzik. Pop crabs with your staff, lure Verzik away from the web start, and ping the web's tile. You do these 3 things, you will carry your team. It's okay to tank the tornado if it means getting into webs. Try to have a super combat sit for this portion. Ideally, you finish her here. If not, repeat the steps. Anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed the concept of a more concise guide. Good luck out there and see you next time.